edin so source ne no mompew ehun sunsanso nti ena na wo mo kasa
yes
president mama owini NDC for owini president mama ebedi ade no the first state of the nation's address president akasa cha ebia 1.5 hours and 1 hour enso so source okan ho asem
feature
okan ho asem that was in February 2025. 4 days later Ghana economic dialogue ase after the state of the nation's address no president Mahama sanko kawo o say se ba no contragia ade your friend so source ne die it should be the rarest of the rare things that should happen. Should say it was a idea was a simple name was a besia na chere say idea kakrabi ya eni kwa say and I mean can say you can say be a rare chere say idea ye tehu
yeah
what you say adentina no kasa esan say so source na ehun won sunsanso enti ma ye nka te say oh was yes o ma ye so source enti so source na the same kenya hwe
but in sunsanso no mo kasa in this specific case no sunsanso has not been established. Remember our example na sami je mfiti akonwa na utimu ya last week na oka say sa the press conference the man kan say mo kan about so source and say it was established now or dealing with the Auditor General's report on Cocoa Roads. Now Auditor General I established say the contracts were overly inflated contract. Same cannot be said by Omuomo Dea or the Abbey. And the mere fact that you soul sourcing, Emrama Quincy and your soul sourcing is a one highlighting Sunsrono. Now can soul sourcing Kakedia won't can be there.
Mebaho.
Okay.
But you see, I'm saying was a ma at year 40 and some nasi pa. Obetina hano, so church mu say nienti more can soul sourcing. Enya one time pen or can soul sourcing. Okan so source na wo se eno na eye angle fofora aba ya MPP e de bo oman no krono pa no na okan two contracts bia ya mo be na two contracts na okan na yesen em say e bia meti o se 83 million no boss say tetisika no se ne be ya etiefo ye omo ye campaign etiefo be 830 billion ye baba en the figures so some figures no ye baba so. But enope, Mr. President Ba bedi ade, o kan so source ho asem. Na no kra de mama yarega, majority leader. O say let it be known, the era of so sourcing is dead. Ghana for muntie, ade na friend so sourcing no ya ban ya penso de ewu. Enti enka ya de papa, adenti na president e kan ho asem. A friend say party for Eka Wasem, party manifesto Eka Wasem, a majority leader in parliament Oka Wasem. But you see, Obi, I'm say my more, but some say and China me who say I call you to the bar.
Yeah, that's 2 years ago, 2024.
And 2 years running for me running for. A tum rabinamo can say, so sourcing and Rama who can.
Yes.
Yen chire mu ye. What you say? Yen chire mu ye. Ghana mranwa. A bought contract ho ban no same jamfi kire mu no o kire mu say o say me use same jamfi na west asakra na ma kire mu o say amra wo Ghana ha ne kire say sa ban we contract na wo adwuma no pese o de ma contract ya emra ne say aban no o mamu no obi a wo ho akande ana animdi ana office obetimi aye bi no omfa ne nkrata amra ne yenhwem na ne obetimi aye adwuma no sika ode be ye adwuma no be wo fom no ne ye de ama no na okasa so say eno ne ye frɛ no competitive tendering
sure
ene ni MPP for ye ne say wo mo se ye miem da bi omo ko hye dem ne ye frɛ contractor A bra ye ma wadwuma contractor B bra ye ma wadwuma competition no ye twam what you say now see ka say emra no ma ho kwan so is it illegal you see eno na ma omayi enkoso no emra no ne aka say contract aban peso de man
yes
sani asemi jamfi kan ye no yemmiem na Ghana contractors nyina wo mu fi say ade we me wo hunim de metimi aye bi no omo mfo mo nkrata amra ti say wo de aba na say adwuma we me no 2 million na we de ne de aba no say me no 3 million we de ne de aba say 5 million we de ne de aba say 1.5 ye be hwehwem wo mu de ahi na adwuma no sani oso obeye no ene sika no a wo bɔ no ene no ɛbɛboa wɔ man no nti ne yɛde ama no sɛnea ɛwokɔ makola
yes
shops ɛwɔ hɔ dɔɔso tu ko wura we mu a ɔsentoma we me tɔn no sei esan sɛ enye ɔno nko ana tɔn ti no ufiri wa na ukɔ foforo so obi anim sɛ enye me nko ana me tɔn ti sɛ me ya me bo dendenden a obi anto so sen na se kyerɛ ne sɛ wode be man ufre nipa na de ma no a ɛbo obobo bia no ana ɛbo a wo fi sɛ wode ma no ye na de ama no ye nia no nti mra ne se contracts ɛyɛ aban de no ye miem na competition emrem na sɛne yɛbɛyɛ a yɛbɛnya value for money ɛno ne de edikan nti contract bia nke yɛbɛnya saa ne yɛyɛ
miem
ɛna mra koro no anso se etimi duru baabi na ade na wo pese wo ye no wa wonim se nipa miensa bi ana companies miensa bi ɛna omu wo ho nim de ti uka se ukobie mu kora no a ɛyɛ saa companies miensa no a na nan no a ɛna omu do omu nkrata beba enti wo be ha ho se wo be bie mu no wo betimi afrɛ saa companies miensa na ɛnan no se momfa mo nkrata ne yɛhwehwem ɛno competition saa wo kakra
but no restrictive tendering
yes and a law no say but e betimi nso aba say aban wo dwumadie bi e wo so wodie ebra atoyere nkyem bi asi emergency
yes
e bia bridge bia eda ensuo bi so a car se fa so bridge na bu aban timi ntwen say afa na obi mfa ne nkrata amra na say ni enti no eno no bibi saa no aban no wo ho kwan say obetimi afre contractor ne a wonim ni say oh why bridge pen omra ne yemfa ma no eno pa ho a ebetimi aba se opese wo to microphone yi microphone no ebia ye frɛ no ebia boom microphone Ghana he nyina company ba ko pen ena oton wo so boom microphone yi na wo de ye adwuma eyeye enti wo bie mu sɛn ti frɛ ne a oton boom microphone no na onfamra akwan ya ye Rose contrast ya o ma me ye beba numbers no
yes
ene a very embarrassing no be a o ma hyase a o mu ye ede na agency emergency ewom
president can say big push no should be done and done fast because omo penentem it's urgent so am for benya kwan pa afaso it doesn't meet the threshold
it doesn't how does it meet the threshold to say enuntino yenye ni so sourcing is it an emergency situation why we are saying that we cannot use 1 month to do competitive tendering.
But it doesn't take 1 month to do competitive tendering.
Why?
In 1 month now the best.
No, and I'm asking say why?
Because Ranekra days are stipulated for each activity. No? Sometimes 21 days now you cannot use 1 month to do that.
And I make a say, does it then mean between now and 2028, between 2025 and 2028, we don't have enough time to go through competitive tendering? Enti yesika no sani asami jamfika ya no yemfa kwan ya fa so wi sika no a ne yenya ne saa because we say what it obi see ya kan saa de a any competitive tendering kenya bi o ma we mu because obi adwuma bi obeye bi obeka say agent because adwuma bi aho hia adwuma be na ho hia adwuma bi aho hia president na wo ka say president say ayenya ne ntem na ye president kronwa na nanu ikra de o se afi kra de o de mra beba e ba be bani so no mpo
about my condition
and I catch say president ndi ka say o say so must be the rarest and not the norm afi kra de o se o ba be bani adentia ade papa adentia o bani ade papa Adentina say current law no makwan say eduru conditions bi a obetimi ayusu so source no papa adentina president is oba bebane adentina majority leader general parliament catch them say let it be known the era of so sourcing is dead. If it is good, why are we saying all that? If it wasn't good then nti MPP tam no de o kwana no mu yi no na ye okay say omo ntwan na Ghana for emfa kwan so no omungu ene de na nya agent MPP ba ye na kwan ye NDC ba ye na kwan ye abeye state of emergency
na nya no so na MPP time so mo ma sole source contract be brave
na ye sole source kro ya no mo say enye na kwan MPP for the ball mine kro no na kwan MPP for the ball mine kro no Now ba now nam sa kwan no so. Wo so be resetting. Wunnim se ade we obi a ofa sa kwan we so bia okobokro no. Obi a onam kwan we so bia krono no wo bo. Nti wa magana fo ahu. Ena Ghana for said there be any ankrofo ye nyi omum free ho because omo nam kwan we so da bia no mo boy kro no o ba ya o say me fa sa kwan no aso na emu me de me angel
but o say wa fa sa kwan na so but ono ne de enye inflated contract said ye omo mutimi establish it through auditor general time omo opposition no. This time nothing has been shown say contract being inflated or argument no
and me say omo use auditor general's report.
Yes.
Ghana hayenim say auditor general's report. Even 2025 auditor general's report. Say my.
Me patcho that.
Am I?
Yeah.
What you say?
Yes.
You betimi akasa yen twen. If it is the auditor general's report that we want to use to validate Adeya, it hasn't come out yet. But the other thing is that we have the values, we have the figures. They are talking about scope of works. Yeah, we agree. Scope of works. We all know. Say, Obi here can be free 5 kilometer and another 5 kilometer maybe in the north or in the south. It may not be the same. We know.
Yes.
But what should be the difference? What should be the difference? If you are, a coin, Ghana had dualization.
Yes.
Dualization. And the cost is 154 million per kilometer. And you are telling me that Auditor General Neiba sole source contract 154 million per kilometer
and no ye contract there
dualization lot 3 or lot 2 Winneba Cape Coast.
Yes.
Dualization.
Yes.
A 25-kilometer road 3.8 billion 154 unim ye kaya ni omo kan say say kwano the scope of work scope. Yes, we agree. And we have shown these things. We've discussed these things with the experts, with the engineers, with people who have been in the field before. And they will see it and say, hey, Abba.
No, but Omoka Abba, no, based on say wafa kwaine bo, and you simply divide it by the number of kilometers, and would that not be misleading? So wafa bo ne keke, no, we're divided by number of kilometers. No, I can say cost per kilometer. Is that not misleading?
You see, Obi, ejumana yeyem. Say oye journalism nibia.
Yes.
Ubetias say.
Yes.
Ye kasa source wa. Ayana ni nyina free. Be ejumakro no emu.
And information if fiba.
What you say? Yeah, national service scandal. Say free national service. Wo kokonya data no hifa. What you say? SML. Eno mo ne ade. Say nyo obi within. Yeah, ade na ekoso no. Ade na ekoso no. Ohunu say time. And wo be say debi. Ade we e was say ye jaya. Who journalists who to baby aware no nya information. Me see some of these things that we are saying. We know the data. Almost say a scope of works. People have shared. We've shared with engineers to analyze. What you say? We've shared with engineers to analyze. In fact, dualization. Just say have you know. What you say?
Yes.
So you know. Initially, I saw the motorway there.
Yes.
Na me and I'm say engineer. Adia 154 million Ghana cedis I will say no. Motorway there no. We be 14 million I will say no. Na motorway there no the number 17 million. Enchire mo de ma no ma me hu dream. Motorway and what me say me nua motorway there no. Yes our concrete kwan na ye nyina ye nim no ne no. What you say 4 lane no ye nyina ye fa so ne concrete. Na no achi no ya ye miensa wa ha ka ho na ye say 10 lanes.
Yes.
10.
Yes.
Na am say okay. O say no pa ho a. Wo tetekwashe adwuma na ye wo ho no. The remodeling of the tetekwashe interchange. Omo ye se ne be ya tetekwashe no betimi afa 10 lanes no. Work is ongoing. Apart from no. Ye 3 interchanges. With the same stretch that motorway no so.
Yes.
Baako wo yem say Klagon. And a baako wo a friend say Teshi towards Lekma was saying and a baako so connected towards Ajirigan ho baby. So 4 interchanges, 10 lanes of road, the 10, 4 of them are concrete. What the eno eba betuto dualization. What I say?
And in this case, you are talking the Kaswa to Winneba.
Not Kaswa to Winneba.
And a Winneba to Cape Coast.
Winneba to Cape Coast 25. Also, we divide.
Yes.
What I say? And no cross I had the fufro.
No, the argument has been said to help every local contractor and as many local contractors to participate. A way of building on capacity. Say, and no be quite am Ghana for contractors no, and ya kwaya ye adwuma ni bi.
Okay. So lot no.
Yes.
Ne nkyere mu ni say. E kwan no e bia e 45 kilometers.
Yes.
Na se ne be ya yemfa ma contractor baako. Na contractor for ahodo betimi anya bia ye. Yes sir.
Yes.
Nti yenchichem.
Yes.
Na lot 1 yemfa ma contractor baako. E bia 15 kilometers.
Sure.
Lot 2 another contractor. Lot 3 another contractor. Yes sir.
Yes.
Okay. Enti sameka kira wo say the same ministry no. Sa lot you are making. Kumasi Outer Ring Road 45 kilometers.
Yes.
Lot 1, lot 2, lot 3. Yeah, they are the same contractor. Ntianu yechire mu say.
Send the acquire would the entire 45 kilometers one contractor.
And I'm say, what say you be a lot wa. Yeah, lot no. Na nkrofo anya bia ye.
Okay.
Send you be ya de lot 1 be ma contractor baako. Lot 2 another contractor, lot 3 another contractor. Minister no krampo kire mu say, ne enti a omoye lot no ne say. Send you be ya contractor bi anya na dwuma a enkoba se kwan ni nyina ya anye. Enti se contractor 1 anya na dwuma 2 and 3 betimi aye. Na je se kwan no 45 no emu 30 de ya because contractor baako pe no anya na dwuma. Nanso so ye wie no na de akoma ni mensa nyina contractor baako. Enya honko a. In fact, ohwe dualization of Winneba Cape Coast no a 2 lots bi o ma the same contractor. Na se ye de be ma contractor baako de na lot ye den.
Ye lot ye den. Sulemana me pato mame sima mienu. Production catcher me say lawyer Sami Jemfize ni din aba ye nkomo a ye di mu nti obepese obeyi nsem ne bia no kakra ma me nkono na reference to ne nsem a o kan wo position no onfa mu nkyeremu no emra Sami wote me nka. Hello.
Obi,
yes, what's a minka? Good. Good. Yes. Now, my testa will say, Udia by Encomo Yimuna, or Asem Kakebi Kame Patoma Mintio.
Yo, Obi, that's it. Mama was chief winner. Aha. Na Milia Penny Sulemana Braimah, or studio so much anyway. Kabiman Kedi, Sunday, you know. Amamu
Asempa
FM. Enti meaning say obia betwa to anadwen, and at the end of the day no Ghana for omunim de no will make an informed decision. The office me adwuma me nyan ntie say ora Sulemana Braimah was Asempa, and there's some more work no say we bought a agency more than 10 times. And as an agency can say, and as an agency can say. So it is important to give an appropriate response to the several references he has made to my name. And in Simbia, author said, maybe a term, the Kaya, Efa, so saying. Obi, did he kind of say, Sami Jenshi, Nina Bebian Kada, set so sourcing, etre chronobo. Na say, ye abaya jumebi na ye use so sourcing as a procurement method na chere kia ne ken chrono was adwumani mu menka di sada once the yenua Sulemana Braimah and your friend of cherry picking. I respect him, but he has to be objective. So we analyze ubi asemo what can you don't just take a small part you look at Nipana Semno as a whole and the context within which a Nipana Semno. There's some agency, any NDC for Kaya about so sourcing in opposition. Yen train ye won't the whole, yen sayano, ye ba bemui, a while ye jina, and a say, so sourcing, it is the norm for public procurement. It is here Benjuma. I was say Yema Imudaho. Na companies are good. GDC was a factor so betting I said money more Quenya. But Emrana I say Benjuma Yemu na omo qualified obi ntimi preno. A council who can say under certain exceptional circumstances no utimi yesu sourcing. Both on NDC 360 any moment of truth press conference the discuss say the rampant abuse of source sourcing by the then MPP administration. I took time to explain the exceptional circumstances under which utimi yesu sourcing. Na me argument say ore so in dodo ana abanda dane ya na omu ni sa exceptional circumstances number 1 and number 2 so no na enyuma na omo ye no according to the findings of the Auditor General ebo e wo se ye de ye no omo de boni bi atoto so ama oman no eboka and we cited the performance audit conducted by the Auditor General on cocoa rows MPP for Betina Kunyaso Moye. Auditor General said 87% of those cocoa rows were not done through competitive tendering. And at paragraph 61, 62, 63, 64, 65 of the Auditor General's report on those cocoa rows, on making the finding say MPP for not only breach the law on sole sourcing, because according to the Auditor General, those projects that were sole sourced, Cocoa Board in their letters to PP, did not provide justification to warrant the use of sole sourcing. And number 2, those contracts, in some cases, were thrice. Or a boy, the year sole source cocoa pina. Now, your moho a boy, similar roles to competitive tendering. So it is within this context, and as some agency, any NDC can say, MPP for Tietia procurement and Raso, so source and basa, and the board may you chrono. Young candidate that said because of that, Intino, Yabetina Kunyaswa, you so source and that for any project. So you can't say. Sulemana, Braimah, regionalize so. One man is down here. Young candidate, so that. Say, so sourcing, what the year you may be necessarily or no room. What I was saying about acquire Ministry of Roads in 2025 to date.
But you would agree, Samit, apart from the Awokaya will make a reference to no. Or sign reference say the current road minister Kanye, the Omampenyan Kasas Kanye as early as Oba Baimu 2025 State of the Nation's address. To the extent the source and crowd Obe Bane any other. These are very recent. Mo outlook on source and over say Enya de Papa. He also made that point.
Enya no cre. The edika Obetina who also some agency. So let us establish that some agency baby can say so the source and yet or minor jumebia net kia ne kin krono. Some agency was addressing the abuse of sourcing by the previous government. Some agency gave specific examples, and some agency quoted audit findings of the Auditor General to support his claim. There were thousands and thousands of other sole source projects NPP for some agency can watch them because sole sourcing say it was not the problem. The some agency can watch them was in respect of
the Auditor General
projects. Auditor General say and follow sole sourcing in Seshaya Wombrem. Any sole sourcing Auditor General say boy a day and more money flees times. So let us establish, say, Sulemana Braimah arguments anchored on some agency, no. Eye Bostrimuka, some agency can be answer. Now, even on the other NDC personalities, our canon, I am challenging him. President John Dramani Mahama baby and say obe bani so. What President Mahama can say? Ye consider emra ebe bani the rampant use of sourcing except in exceptional cases. And the President Mahama quite say emra for na by air consider.
And also they are just a repetition of what's in the law because law no for exceptional circumstances.
And some don't hold me on this point because I know you don't have time. This is supposed to be a brief intervention.
Okay.
Nana Minister Honorable Sulemana Braimah about studio. I would have agreed to come there because I'm using this medium to challenge him to a one-on-one debate on his so-called expose about big push projects. Nebema Ghana phone we said the Yeniane Kano. Waira. Is it Obi?
Very well.
Kwame Aboja, NDC, President Mahama, we've been consistent. You can check our money.
Okay.
We promise to stop the abuse of soul sourcing. And then stopping soul sourcing and the abuse of soul sourcing, they say, Adia and some fatakrati ebe use soul sourcing. Obi Mr. Meba. Now you use soul sourcing. That's number one. And number two, Ade Uber so use sourcing. The Mrane say I was away, no, I was away. And a boa what they sad yellow true soul sourcing or something. I was say a boa a competitive. A boa no crewum Emma or minor and
that's fine.
Now, Obi, you're dealing with this issue. We're just quickly on some of the things I heard. Sulemana Braimah
say. Because of Emre said he is here on a one-on-one interview. Now, I say or responding to it. No, let me make this point, Obi. The point. If we have to call you back,
we'll grant you that opportunity. I promise you, I won't take 5 minutes of your time.
5 minutes is too much. Dabi, 5 days too much.
Sulemana Braimah
will call you.
Hold on. Mr. Sulemana Braimah is a consummate, Democrat. And I know he is not afraid of dissent. And it's just 5 minutes. You see?
No, Sammy, do 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
He doesn't even know, sir, to do competitive tendering for a major road project like big push projects, it will take 1 month. He has said on IEkosiisen, say, to me far 1 month in your competitive tendering. Wow. So he doesn't even know the laws or the rules of competitive tendering. For major roads like this, also be a competitive tendering. The law says advert will be 1 year 3 weeks for expression of interest. Evaluation and shortlisting of firms 2 weeks. Preparation of requests for proposals will take you between 1 week to 2 weeks. Submission and evaluation will take you at least 2 weeks. Submission by the entity tender committee for approval will take you 2 weeks. If you have to go to Central Tender Review Committee, it can take you to 2 to 3 weeks. If Central Tender Review Committee needs clarification, it can take you 1 to 2 weeks. So for you, I will need a certain expose to demonstrate even a clear misunderstanding about the time required for competitive tendering. But
would that then mean, sir, and by we're not the moon to mean your competitive tendering be
to me, Obi, Mother, and Sawam Tokwase Quine we. A quine say, Nipetimi dimu traffic 5 hours. No, Jina baby back. Some part to Jenny. The quine we are Nipe also. Are you telling me? Say, the 6 to 7 months I have borrowing severe. Yes, also you to 3, 4 to 5 months and quiet tender. And then you in your contractor, which is our look, Sulemana Braimah cost inflation. Okay, 1 million. Back anywhere.
Onyanka wasem waha. Inti.
He doesn't understand it. Now the advice, I will not go into the details because you don't want me to go into the advice the man say.
Yes.
He has built a great reputation that we all admire and respect over the years. Manema and Profobi misleading no man say anything. If you don't have information, you ask. And you know about Kwame Abojana office no cha sika and no cha bo. And the various technical agencies, Ghana Highways, Federal Roads, the design, saving the country 5% of project cost. Ghana Institute of Surveyors. And what mama yomo validation. And if you, Sulemana Braimah, on your quantity surveyor, on your auditor, on site any evaluation report or audit report, now say find the cost inflated. You must give us your evidentiary basis. You don't do a simplistic pedestrian analysis of dividing the cost of a project by the kilometers. You don't look at scope of works, and you conclude that the project is inflated, and you are undermining the integrity of distinguished government officials.
Let him.
Very unfair on the spot. Now, you create a platform.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Any day, any time, members of the Jai Gold Board, on one by one, or the companies be only 1 or 4 workers. They are not true.
Very well.
We will take the issue one by one, and we will expose the oil and say, or say in the
me that say, ma yemfa NC, I mean, or making a point we are. Now, I was say we not quite responding to the Akana will do that. But for now, let him make his point. Inti, Samiden Fiya da se papa or a CEO at the Gold Board, National Communications Officer Edema NDC, and Motain and Kano. Mr. Sulemana Braimah, Mr. So about Hobio. I think no one who go asem so I can now my examples of lot projector a lot and in call one contractor. It is a over 12 so my anafi acquire other issues.
Well, Obi Medase, my dean and amity Rasa Major Fina. Say Adeba how may you say, Nipa be how Mufisa Omoba Bemwa. Nay, I chichre Ghana Yansan in Adwas, Ediaswam. Intino, Nubia, Biano, Onimnia, Oye, no Omun Nimnia, Omu Aye. Sami Jamfi se wan kan ba bia se e wa ha minim se me bonan kwatie fo ebetia Sami Jamfi le kase eba ani
no eba it's clear
na our capacity so betimi aye say adwuma we should give that person the opportunity to compete TFR be competitive tendering ma ho kwan na obi amepre adwuma ni bi de obetumi aye adwuma ni yie a o man no benya so mfaso abra o man ne bebo kakakra bi ne de ama no.
Mami, whilst I look for other
ones.
Yes. Okay. All can say. And angle back one MPP for the ball may you chrono pa ya dear your friend is so sourcing. Sabrina na all can say no. Na a so sourcing different from Nya Kayana. Enti say amount for Oba Bemu nebia your mouth to me near dear. O kasa no atobo men yet to say look MPP wa
but you don't agree with the contest now create a special audit report from the Auditor General and now all can wasem
Makachra say they did kind 2025 audit kramai enti me no wo kasa so ya kasa audit report and ye ntwan a enti ye ngin tum say and the MPP there and the NDC there so sourcing efun bi ani ho MPP there no omo ye no na enye but and the NDC there so sourcing because omo angels. Why? When Mahama Yarga in Parliament was saying that the era of so sourcing is dead, so sourcing ewu no patch say. President General Parliament first State of the Nation address all can so sourcing wasem now patch day. Second State of the Nation address all can so sourcing wasem no patch say. Ghana economic dialogue all can say so sourcing will be the rarest should be the rarest. This was March last year. So sourcing must be the rarest of the norm. The rarest and not the norm. This was March.
Yes, March last year.
In the same year, then we have the Ministry of Roads under the President's initiative of Big Push. 107 contracts. 107 contracts. Emu 81. Yediama so sourcing. Na oba be catch say wo de we angel into so sourcing there and andamono is okay.
And some figures no unya figures ni free hinti 107 emu 81 soul sourcing no source na himfa. So
your ministry na data no my look
roads and highways.
Yes, roads and highways. This is their letter and this is the document. What is here? This is the letter. This is the document.
It went through RTI request. No
Exactly. RTI request na mo release here. Na oya Rose, also one Rose contracts 107. Emu 81 sole source. Say any abuse. Then what is an abuse? What would an abuse be? If 107 emu 81 a sole source and you say it's not an abuse. Look.
But on a no, would you take away and answer what the minister presented to Parliament, the House of Records? Because minister and figures what they call Parliament, no, seems to be at variance with way.
Okay.
Which one would you take?
Good. You see, under normal circumstances, you better minister no dey.
Yes.
But omo true omo conduct no mama ade di pefe say omo dada Ghana for.
Adentia.
They did kind. Oko Parliament no, they oko kan ye ni say omo ma contrast 107 bia. Contrast e omo ma no. Eye mako 54. Yeah, emu 23.
Yes.
No. 54. And omo ba ye. Omo ankasa aye. And 23 there. Eye contrast ana e wo hodada.
Yes.
Yeah, oka ofre bibi said old big push. Sa contracts no na wo hodada. Na omo ba ye sansa na MPP any sika omo di sa contracts no ntino. Omo e di aba be ka big push on. Until 54 plus 23 uka bomu that would be about 77.
Because me TN or Parliament or say 139 major projects, 54 under big push. NPP project or Muja hoye 23. Our modi and big push. And 62 other project are government of Ghana funding or modi, which are not necessarily under big push. In way any breakdown or my
good. So under big push is 54. And 23.
23 from MPP. Sure. Sure.
Good. But yeah, request here. Yes, a big push contracts. Yes. And they gave us 107 plus actually 8 others. And no dear, Omoka say ongoing is here. These are ongoing. 8 of them. The rest of them are contracts that were awarded under the NDC. Now, Yemfa Omo 54 no. Subsequent to parliamentary presentation, no, what did they do? They came and uploaded it on their website. Duko Ministry website, you will see 54 projects, new big push, 23 old big push.
Yes.
Now let's interrogate Nia Womo Ankasa say yeboa into Omo dia ba to Omo website no. Look, Sawusha Nia Omo friend no old big push 23 and 1. And now na make our news.
You inherited free MPP for.
Yes. Ni almost say I don't know inherited free from MPP no.
Yes.
The very first project I also number 1. Almost say I have for rehabilitation of Tepama Buying Goso blah 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 blah. Date of award 12 October 2025.
Yes.
12 October 2025. So almost say almost inherit you.
And so omachim
So
because source of funding assessor, they had to innovation here a technical thing, but they had to do something new. Change the source of funding. And that's why the contract was done anew. But the same contractor, the same contract.
By the way, I even said that day the indicator is even a Sunday, but let's forget about that. The next project, 25th October 2022.
2022.
Yes, the date of award is here.
MPP.
Yes. The next one, it goes on 2022-2020. Then the next one is 12 November 2025. So in one document, you have date of award. Some are in the previous government, others are in this government, and yet you want us to believe you say all these 23 are novated contracts. If they are novated, why are the dates of awards not all in 2025? Let's go to the second sheet they gave, the one that they themselves have published. The one they say 54, they awarded. The first item, date of award, 15th September 2024.
Where
the 54.
54, no, almost say more time.
Yes.
And man.
Yes.
And I'll say be a 2020.
Yes. The very first item, 1st September 2024. The next one, 15th September 2024. And
2024?
Yes. Then the next one, number 8, Bono East, rehabilitation of Techiman Nkonsia Road or something, 26th November 2024. So what are they doing?
You don't think they're a mistake, like genuine mistake in the dates?
You see, people make mistakes. And when you make mistakes, what you do is to accept it and say, oh, this was a mistake. We recognize it. One of the things they have done is that on Newsfile,
yes,
I did indicate that if you take Dodo Pepesu,
sure,
the commitment authorization figure is 684, plus
million.
684 million plus.
Ghana cedis.
Yes, Ghana cedis. In the data they gave us, and what they themselves uploaded last week, the contract sum was 804, which is a difference of 120 million. In the data they gave us, plus what they uploaded. So assuming, say, what they gave us was had a typo. So what they uploaded also had a typo.
But no, when you have those two contrasting figures, shouldn't we then refer to the contract itself?
Yes, we should.
The contract near between parties, letter of acceptance, will state the amount of the contract, and no any conclusive than way more.
So if you publish two different data sets,
yes,
804,
yes,
then you say what we are saying is a lie. You publish your own 804, and then you say that when I say 804, I'm lying. So yesterday, what did they do? They went online and changed the figure.
Change the figure. Do you publish it?
Yes.
You change it by saying.
Change it by 683 something.
Which is what they claim is the
which is
cost
what they claim
of the contract.
Is the cost of the contract.
But you doubt that?
Well, I mean, they just went and changed it and started tweeting that people should disregard whatever we are saying. But is that an honest way of doing things? After you have put it there, and we say, oh, you have put it there, it's 800 and this. You say, oh, disregard it, then you quickly go and change it. So are we being untruthful, or you are being untruthful to the people? Then let's even put that aside.
But let me see if I can share information where I'm receiving with you. Into where Ghana Highway Authority head office, managing director Messrs. Growth 82 Global Limited, DSA, rehabilitation, upgrading, construction of roads under the big push, rehabilitation of the Dopepeso in Quanta Road, 46 kilometers. Almost a letter of acceptance. We have the pleasure to inform you that by letter number, the number dated 30th December 2025, the Central Tender Review Committee, in accordance with Section 65(1)(2) of Act 663 as amended, has given approval for the award of the above works to Messrs. Growth 82 Global Limited through restrictive tendering. Further to this approval, the Ghana Highway Authority Entity Committee, in a letter dated 25th November 2025 and reference blah blah blah, has ratified the award of the contract. The Ministry of Roads and Highways, represented by the Ghana Highway Authority, hereby accept your proposal for the rehabilitation of the Dopepeso to Nkwanta Road, 46 kilometers, at the accepted contract amount of 683,902,957 Ghana cedis and 69 pesos for completion in 24 calendar month from the commencement date of the contract. Will this letter not be like a superior document to the year Kenya? But we're a contract between the two parties.
Well, so you said who sent you that?
One of our listeners.
Okay, one of your listeners.
Yes.
So that's if you feel that is more, that's superior, receiving it from a listener compared to we receiving this from the Ministry of Roads and Highways. In fact, the ministry itself gave us a document.
Okay.
Ghana Highway Authority gave us a document.
Okay.
The ministry itself published data on its website. In all three cases, what the ministry gave us was 804. What the Ghana Highway Authority gave us was 804. What the ministry published on its website was 804. And if you receive all this and then you put it out, Then you say, oh, later they are coming with contrary figures, and therefore you should have known that the contrary figure is true. Then should we believe our institutions at all?
And you say, so when did they do the correction on the website?
Yesterday.
And
in fact, only this morning will be a draw my attention and say, oh, Charlie, the people they ran go change the thing. Meanwhile, we had downloaded it. People had even downloaded it. People had taken screenshots and had shared. But let me come to...
that not mean say your magia to say you never want a mistake.
Now what you to say they want a mistake?
You have to state
Why
it.
do you go around tweeting? Yesterday the minister's what do you call it, handle was tweeting. Disregard the misinformation that the purpose was 804.
Minister Nankasa.
Yes.
Ma verify say or no.
Oh, now why? The minister's handle was tweeting. So why wouldn't the minister say, oh, we realized that there was a mistake here.
Indeed, here corrected.
Yes.
Okay.
Why did it not happen?
Okay.
Again, back on Dodo Pepeso.
Yes.
You said Growth 82.
So, and only contractor, no?
Yes.
Okay.
Growth 82 was incorporated in January 2025.
Growth 82.
Yes, the company.
No?
Yes. January 2025. What was their track record in receiving such a contract? So, I'm for some finum, or ya see me bonidin, or babe kasatin tin many idea. Contract a company I registered on last year, January. Near Kwakomano, 800, and then they almost say 600 contract. A1, B1 license. Okay, or then or class. How did he get into that classification?
But unusual, na.
You see, road contracts. That is why there are classifications.
Yes.
So, it starts from, is it D1 or C1 and so on, all the way
to highest near A1.
A1, B1. And before you get there, you must have built a track record to be able to get there. How did it happen that a company that was registered the same year was awarded close to 800 or 800 and something million, even if they say it's 683? How? How did it happen?
It will be unconscionable for a company to be formed in a year and in that same year, you get A1, B1 license. And yet possible.
Well, maybe under NDC is possible, if that is what they want to tell us. But it's never possible. How is that possible? What's your track record? On what basis are we giving you A1, B1 categorization?
Maybe there was show capacity be. Nisika or the capacity in terms of finances and all of that. The expertise that we put it together in the company.
Let's not conjecture. Just ask. So wait me for more company be and then I'll acquire A1, B1 categorization. Not that same year and your contract to go and do 800 or 600 and whatever. Even if we are going by their figure 600. I mean how? You see, that's what I'm saying. Say ya ba bemwa. My yes, Ghana for ejimi, and somewhere you can't ye the caviar be to home, ya and canasa near patch say, nan in chile moon say, and so on and so forth. MPP for you, everything they would defend. MPP did it. Everything they would defend. At the end of the day, Ghanaians are wide awake and they know. Or can say, your friend is saying, qualification and I'm Rama who quine and idea. You see now on my who are now in a car about company or one worker.
Yeah, one worker
or more 4 workers near there. And Sami Jemfi is defending that, or NDC people are defending that.
Why should they not? Because if the basis for the claim debatable, they would have to raise the
How do you mean by the basis of the claim?
For example, if the basis of saying say company be 4 workers, based on almost net clearance certificate, that is something people would dispute.
Contract more be contractor. There are no qualification or requirements. Say, o company no snit the clearance certificate.
Yes.
Yeah, a jubayefo a wo.
Yes.
Yeah, wutua wo mo senate.
Yes.
O se eye ba akope. Ebi kra na ye wo wankasa wa set up company no. Nti o se me nko a. And yet you will be qualified to be given the contract because who we are, you can go and mobilize people. Say you know bet my contractors.
Yeah, but say you adwumayefo nyina na wutua snit wo mo.
And I'm say enti baako.
Yes.
Baako. And a Ghana hano, your friends, Emrano, then Emranaka. Say, I would me Fenipa, or staff, I wouldn't hear almost Netiana.
It depended the engagement.
You see, there is another company here.
Yes.
awarded 300 million Ghana cedi contract.
300 million.
Yes, and they have in their clearance certificate they have 24 workers.
Workers, sure.
24.
Yes.
It is obi or 24. No obi or one. O say oh, enye and on 24 no there. On when your company this hebia.
Oh,
and that should tell you that look, in evaluating the contracts, there are reasons why somebody cannot qualify for a certain contract and somebody can qualify for a certain contract. How do you tell me say a company I was saying me ni ame one wa me tua na senate and me employees and that company is eligible to be given a contract because at the end of the day you hu say nkrofo so cement and therefore they have the capacity. If that is the case, I can also take
but we will be a woman contract no not two companies aba. Said even if we go by SNET declaration form, now I also say over 4 workers. But what said doing we are the amamino. Meaning here mobilization. I'll go out there, get the job done. Later my raise certificate in my baby Jessica. But 24 and I have 50 workers. On what say I just how many mobilizations and the why now dear Juman?
That is why they talk about competitive tendering. You see BM. What you say? Won't free will be. Emfa adwuma no ma no nanka say o chirechire mu say meni ni hia wo dem no o chirechire me mu say o adwuma no obetimi aye mobilization even though o say na adwuma ye ni ye ba akopɛ but obetimi a mobilize ene ne kanka enti ne asi biem ema ne o capacity ai be dia dance ye ne nkrata ne bibia dia dance ye say o capacity no ne dia ma no. But how do you source a company that says I have 4 workers? Source no. A competitive tendering can also ye hwehwe mu no na e kire se o mo mba ye ni nyina we dey back we dey mienu na ne na ne dey ye nan no ono kra na do so ntie de ma no a I can understand.
But company na e wo 4 workers na 1 worker no minim say bia mo investigations a kire se eno nso was incorporated in 2025 and I say earlier na asan so a kire se o ma ye contract bi da. Then why should it be a problem? Some workers Obi. So is it for nothing that the laws on contracting exist? Yeah, but is there a law that says
then they shouldn't have even included SNET clearance certificate. Why do they include it?
Yeah, but SNET clearance certificate doesn't show the number of workers.
No, I'm saying that why do they include it?
It is because a statutory requirement that you should pay SNET for your workers. It will tell us who comply with our SNET regulation. It doesn't prove the number of workers the company has.
Who are workers?
That's one thing you have to understand.
No, who are workers in this case? Then I'm saying that all of us can be contractors. Give me the work. I'll go and mobilize people to come and do it.
But that's what contractors do.
Yes. Now I offer artisans. Do I take that to be your workers? It is not for nothing that they say include tax clearance, include SNET clearance, include this. Those are bases to evaluate officially. Say you have the capacity or you don't have capacity.
You think so? That
why not?
The SNET clearance certificate will show some capacity and then we need capacity.
No, I'm saying that is not just a loan.
Okay. Other way.
Yes, there are other things. And you can now bomwa a chance of capacity and only capacity. Yamfa about so mini SNET clearance and I mean mini phobia but what the mamma may because my contract be 2 years ago me and I come up a crack.
No SNET clearance there was a show. You have to show the certificate. But my argument is it doesn't tell the number of workers accompanying the so the number of staff accompanying.
So you are therefore saying even if the SNET clearance certificate said 0, the company is qualified, they should give him the contract.
No, I'm saying the intimate Kazero. There's Nipana where company the entity be the one.
Company the Diana's would just net here. And the SNET clearance certificate indicates that 0. Then the person is qualified to get a contract and sole sourcing or restricted. And in this case, if it's even restricted, so he beat other people.
Other people,
yes.
Maybe because of past record, maybe because of other capacities I will show you.
And I make us any called the 0 crown buy a kibet media mano. You see, it's the same arguments we mo say. Oh, and yes, yes, so source in here. Young conqueror say, oh, yeah, Jumana and answer on your Jumano. If we extend the debate, that is what it will become.
Okay.
And that would be like obi awako university. Na ya detect say results of the core university no enye papa. Na obi ka say oh there be papa o enye papa o ye hwe say o school no perform ya na. And I go for you students be dey so you come verify most why results am dey buy no enye papa. Na man for your argument oh near here say be say nko mo be school no mo perform ya na mo perform. So mo perform there what is your problem?
Yeah, but when the difference with Wayne is say SNIT clearance certificate of the core and interest say there is no doubt about the authenticity of the clearance certificate, number one. Number two, there is no law where I say so workers A4 and A3 won't mean your contract.
Obi. Yes. And I maybe say therefore, what is the essence of even including it? It's a basis to assess your capacity. And as I can yes, I can say the back. And I'm a banam say SNIT clearance certificate. Me SNIT clearance certificate. Me need my NBA.
My age you may be the intimate.
My age may be the intimate contract. Why do we include it? So let's not do this to ourselves. Let's not make it as though, look, what matters is, are you able to do this? If you are able to do it, then that is fine. Otherwise, then our laws don't matter. We don't need the laws. I think I'm running just president to kwaya on far way parliament in here. Oh, and we here near here answer president to what the investment about na so on fire investment to my and here. Then let's throw away all our laws. No, we shouldn't do that to ourselves as a country. What is wrong yesterday cannot be right today, and we have to be principled. We have to be principled. Won't you mean say kwaya ebi mu fa so bokro no power obey mu ni so sourcing ene de wo ba ya wo be kire mu say enye ne sa na me de me pa kire ne say sa bre no na say auditor general say ma ye kan auditor we all know say audit reports they don't come once you come into government then they come no so we don't have the benefit of auditors report right now and yen train kopem say auditor general's report be be say oh nkrofo omo abuse so sourcing. But don't be with him.
But the report never banner a clean bill of health for the IEkosiisen. What would you say?
Clean bill of health says
This is a report never next year and next 2 years. Now I can say nothing untoward happened.
Report no say the soul sourcing that was happening was right.
Yes.
Well, let's wait and see whether that will happen. That the soul sourcing things that happened were all right. Let's wait and see. But you see. Analysis no cry. You can say 107 and contract. 81 and 81
soul sourcing.
81 soul sourcing. Omuko publish o ma de no. Almost say 54 no more award no. The 54 smartly they did not include the method of procurement
on the website.
On the website. Soul sourcing ho asem ne aba ene yeka enti samo say mo dispute ne ye ne dia identity na dem publish mo fa method of procurement ne nka ho
India no can say method they were silent on the
They were silent on the method, but we took it. And the 54 emu 47 soul sourcing.
Okay, maybe. Into 54 contract and a big push, you know?
Yes. Almost say I know the woman no more award.
Yes.
And that 23 now almost inherit you know.
Yes.
54 no.
Yes.
I know the almost no more you know.
Yes.
Emu 47 soul source. Now 47 out of 54. Minister no catch the parliament say was this soul source on my 44.
On no minister the basis in parliament they say on no FR on your 44 no based on the number of contractor or no car which is 139. In the 139 no car say emu 61 and then sole sourced by them. Into your mom dear mama in mom dear no or no car 54 big push and now car 62 other GOG funded projects no in the car you boom no on see emu 61 and then sole sourcing and that's how come he arrived at the 44%.
And I may say now don't you know mom publish it 62 in one hour. In fact they do baby crowd almost mama 400 open competitive tendering.
Yes. I say apart from Waymo,
what you say?
400 others here.
Almost 400 others here open competitive tendering.
Yes.
Now yes, more yes so sourcing, more abuse so sourcing. Most mama 400 open competitive tendering. What would have been enough to counter what we are saying than 400? Say mama 400. Now yes say 107, emu 81. So sourcing. What's mama 400 open competitive tendering? I didn't know mom publishing.
All the 400.
I didn't. Nasa no crana be defeated. One ma 400 open competitive tendering na obi say who abuse so source na. I didn't know publish here. Na ne oba publish here no so a smartly where you procurement method na frame. Yan kwahwe na emu your friends say 47 so source. Na there make e aka ho a kire se nkrofo omo da Ghana for any say apart from ene nya atwum ya omo ye ya na no ye kan say but ene de na ye kan nya sa na tie me say look, I have several contracts here awarded under Pami Abuja, which is not included in the 54 they have published.
Really?
Yes. And I can go through them.
Time to go through
You can check what they have published
on their website.
On their website.
Okay.
Now I say 54 no account and now 23 no almost inherited no account one na. Identity number publishing no yi be free. Ebinie rehabilitation of Wenchi Nsoko the Bibi Sampa road ewa 273 million. Rehabilitation of Wenchi Nsoko, that was lot 1, lot 2, lot 3 ni nyina ewo ha. Bakoye 273, Bakoye 586 million, Bakoye 311 million. Rehabilitation of Wenchi Solar Road, 423 million. And the date of award is here. Date here almost contract. They are all here. 17th December 2025, 17th December 2025, 17th December 2025. Rehabilitation of selected roads in Ejumako Enyan Esiam district.
And away in a source sourcing.
Yes, sourcing. Yes, and it is not included in their 54. Why have they not included it in their 54? Why are they doing this to Ghanaians? Why? A rehabilitation of selected roads in Ejumako Enyan Esiam district. The total is here 1.665 billion. And there are several. Rehabilitation of Besianse, Kokobe, Enclave Roads, blah, 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 338 million. That one is selective tendering. Rehabilitation of Enyenyame, Agomoa, Ugwa, blah, 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 Central Region. And also a selective tendering, 385. But you know, this time, you don't even know what to believe and what not to believe when these people say what they say. Because when him, Enra, Sado do Pepesono, almost as he release pages, what is supposed to be pages on the contract. Now there is one particular page, it was stated that the contract becomes effective following the PPA approval of sole sourcing for this contract. Meanwhile, the data they gave us said restrictive tendering. So which one is which? Which one should we believe? You have several contracts, as I said. Akwemu Afraniasi Road, blah, 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 Central Region is here 386 million. This one is a 5-kilometer road. Rehabilitation of Kwautafo, Adoso, blah, 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 Eastern Region, 474 million. So why would you try to deceive the people? You publish 54. There are several other projects here. Why did you not include them? So when the ministry says A, they mean B.
And then they mean B.
Just as when they said sole sourcing was not good in opposition, and today they say sole sourcing is okay. And Sami Jamfi is talking about, we couldn't have done 1 month for competitive tendering. But you can abuse the law. You cannot have a mechanism to ensure that you can fast track a process to ensure that competitive tendering can be done. But it is easy to rather abuse the law. Because the law says that, sole sourcing can be acceptable. I mean, how? How can we govern our country like this? Now, Suhini was saying what? That, you can say that at least you can say we are hypocritical or double standards. But don't say that this is a scandal.
There is a corruption scandal.
Or corruption scandal. Mina memeka. Momo say sole sourcing ye de bokrono. Mose Angela MPP for the ball may you chrono so sourcing. Mina maker. It is a yes so source na. Watch them say the bokro no. What ya who you sent.
But even when numbers nature say chrono be course no.
Obi, how do you know? And I'm telling you, I've given you figures that dualization. Check which road dualization bay and it cost you 154 million cedis per kilometer. near me say concrete road, 10 lanes, 4 interchanges, and so on and so forth. What is the cost? So we shouldn't just say that, oh, they are saying that why are they saints? Obi the oil source and not a corruption because Kwame Agbeja or say we are not able to build our roads because we are doing soul sourcing. And what does soul sourcing do? It leads to inflated contracts. Now the Oba now we bia, what the we sent into we soul sourcing, what the we are project. And because Auditor General report in my intino, my enkamwasem. Yemia no ni emfa say and they sent for and ebu o mine. Despite the fact that you are abusing soul sourcing. Enti mama yarga ka say the era of soul sourcing is dead, you know. And two fees and nim say we na ekoso an ko betimi aka kire Ghana for say the era of soul sourcing is dead ana. When the president says that soul sourcing must be the rarity and not the norm, no. Officer president to nim say we na ekoso an ko betimi aka kire say and under normal circumstances or whatever it is, soul sourcing must be the rarity ana.
Okay, it is a share or more 54 contracts now makase or more man under big push. When you take all those 54, the ones they signed under big push, you know, do you see, and as I was inclined, say all the 54 no, inflated from the figures you've seen? Because I almost have no more sign let's work with 54 no. A mudi na ufi said Darby figure way there and koye for which reason a bit so I can say then almost so sourcing when corruption.
Oh my yeah, Mr. My Obi.
Yes.
Obi.
Yes.
Look, this I will give this to you.
Okay.
A list of the 81.
The Amomoka 81.
Yes, so sourcing.
Okay.
So sourcing. Yes. I know. I'm the time I'm say so sourcing. Sure. Yes, you am person be kwa kan bi no maka say ya anka ne sa. And to tell mom use ya na use so sourcing. Now we say figures no na yenhwe e na yenhwe figures no a inflated ana say me say me who use so sourcing and I would do 25-kilometer road dualization. Now some figure no 154 million per kilometer. Now we are in so sourcing now what catch me say so sourcing ye the bokro no what catch me say so sourcing inflated contracts ono Kwame Agbeja no a ranking member ono so a technical person
yeah or a engineer
what you say or architect
an architect and was
so sourcing leads to inflation of contracts. Na sawaba. Na your friend say 107 contracts. Emu 81. So sourcing. Baku kura ni wa competitive tendering. Sami jamfisi ofre ye obeji time nyina or say your friend say that the agency of time and
traffic amount for the traffic move 5 hours 6 hours in the BBC no ko solve a terms on was away and I'm saying competitive
entino akwan 107 and contracts 107 no nyina no emu ba ko kra ni ho a ya wo mu no mo ka kire ye say aban emra no say eno you see ana o se me bo ne din o se emra no say wo be ma contract ya biemu
yes
mo obi a me ye bi
yes
mo de mo ba ya contract mako 107 emu ba ko kra ni ho a mo biemu mo de mo ye saints ye kofa mo free aso abafo ye de mo free esoro ene baaye ne na omo to on de na adwenbone nko a omo de omo ya e kire se kro no bo na mo de mo baaye 107 not even one is competitive tendering. Why? So yes, let us agree that many of the roads or quite a number of the roads were said that we cannot wait to do, and we cannot novate. They are able to novate the contract, to re-sign the contract, but they cannot novate. They cannot have any other means to make sure that competitive tendering processes can be fast-tracked because it's an urgent thing that we must do. Name what they can do is to abuse the law by awarding all of them 107 million. Baku kreni wa kwano baku kreni wa betimi atwen amaya ye niana wo mu ka se eno na mra no se yemiem kwano baku kreni wa ne betimi atwen a competitive tendering. What do they take Ghanaians for? Ya award ni nyina no. Emu ba ko kura ni ho. And in any case, why? Some of them are signed in December. Or say, yeah, almost 7 months. Engineering and
December 2025.
Yes. There are some here that are 2026 signed. In this Aquino, Nanki Timinia competitive tendering. Sani ya sign 2026 no. And they are not nipe ngu so. And they are not nipe ngu so. And if from 2025 all the way to signing a contract in February 2026, we didn't have enough time to do competitive tendering.
Okay, Sule, Usain raised one other issue on some of the, and we by me final question after you share a wrap here. The issue on say some of the road costs, Modege further, no more say Sikani be from that, and I think you made a Facebook post crown that said Sikani be a skill muyi yede kwaye highways was a feeder route office in that same contract. Is that the case?
That is the case. There's this contract, a 9-kilometer road.
Yes.
Yeah, it's here. And I know, and I'm gonna make where they are contracting the full contract.
9-kilometer road.
Yes, and only the 9-kilometer road, and that is the contractor who even has the one-way canal. Who say, okay, say, Obi one Senate clearance.
Build managers, there.
Say, wait me, the friend say one employee on the clearance certificate about 146 million CD contract. And no, cost to no nyamena meka is here. In fact, 30 million po. Because the 30 million, they do another debe interest, 25% on it. For it in Tukikani in Aboma, it means that 37.5 million of that money is supposed to go to Feeder Road, Department of Feeder Road headquarters. Maintenance. And then no pay. There's another one here. And also 5.2 is a 5.25 for the same maintenance of the Department of Feeder Road headquarters. And only value for money, no. Yeah, almost say, my income was no. How? In fact, there is one of the contracts here, I think the one that is for 300 and something million. Yeah, three cross-country vehicles and two your friends say 2 pickups. And engineers who know the thing will say, a 25 kilometer or 30 kilometer.
Or the cross-country.
Or the cross-country. Yeah, Tommy and Son. Near a friend say pickups on Sumi, and no way they do this, and almost say, auditor general report say,
but how about the justifications? Most of these projects, or the share road project, no faso at the end, you would find road project be based on the road projects, no na ebia interchange bi baby no mo de akwa school dan bi baby no mo si into wo hwe kasoa interchange, for example, na school dan ka ho na hospital or a clinic assign account into through that road project, no omunya clinic enya school and non so
sanya no ho asem ne account. Yes, see how would they share 37.5 million project baako emu baako contract no meanwhile me ensa no de amayen emu mienu baako ye 37.5 million and ye dey maintenance. Department of Feeder Roads or headquarters minim say na sitie
headquarters ne maintenance and equine maintenance
there be headquarters no maintenance allocated for the maintenance of the minim say wo ministry ho ba bi dia minim.
Okay,
na contract no mu baako no ye 37.5 million ena ye allocate another one wa ha and also you allocate 5.2 million for the same purpose. And you can over 42 point something million for the maintenance, and yeah, for the construction, for the maintenance. And this is how they use the money. You can't almost young chairman auditor general report emra a value for money. And then the Chelsea contracts near inflating any idea. Otherwise 9 kilometer one rehabilitation. Sapiting, feeder surface dressing, sapiting. Over 10 point something million per kilometer.
Sir, quite scope of work here, sapete.
Yes.
Do you have the scope of work?
Na say contract in here. Bibiawum.
It's just one more year. Sapete.
Surface dressing.
On this contract.
Yes, yes.
Really?
Department of Feeder Roads. Yes. You can get anybody who is an engineer to come and take the documents and analyze.
It will not be asphalted.
It's not asphalted. It's not asphalted. The contracts are here. You can make photocopies and leave it with any engineer to analyze it for you. Surface dressing. And then they say we should wait till Auditor General reports come because these people, they are saints. When they are doing sourcing, no inflation. But when others were doing it, it is the mechanism, it's the new angle Ghana for a bino de boy chrono. Now abba 107 contracts. Emu ba kokra went to me and open competitive tender. Meanwhile, one more on who chirechim say emrano say o pesa o ye contract ya biemu. Na all kind of sano. No all can say emrano say o pesa o ye akwan na say agency dia friend nipa no them na fama nana. You see na make say my enya say ye ba ban mu a ye wonyansa chen wo bia. Because that is what the MPP was doing. Bibi bia can be on be defended. Ni obe can be on be justify. Ni obe can be on be nyanu ye.
But me share Facebook post now 6 days ago. Is this value for money? I don't know if you remember that Facebook. Let's start with just a very small one awarded under even restricted tender. Upgrading of Apeguso Impakan Feeder Road. Meaning say yes. Okay, that's fine. Signed on November 25, 2025. This contract is for surface dressing, or as we call it, sapeti. And okay. Road length 9 kilometers. Contract sum here 146 million. Cost per kilometer 16.27 million. And contract here build managers. What is even mind-blowing is how they arrived at the contract sum. A whopping 37.5 million Ghana is allocated as maintenance of Department of Feeder Road headquarters. Maintenance, so not construction of a new office. And guess what? This is not the only contract with allocation for maintenance of the same feeder road office.
Yes.
Other contract one would require the same maintenance.
Yes. And I say back here 5 million.
Yes,
another contract is here. 5 point something million.
Okay. At arriving at cost per kilometer in the post, 37 million if free 146 million.
That is why I tell you what is even funny is how they arrive at the feeder. Because at the end of the day, that is what government of Ghana is paying for that 9 kilometer road. And so you look at how it has been allocated. And that is why we come to that cost per kilometer. Otherwise, if Yamfan say 37.5 million no anymore, the contract sum will reduce. So in the end, we will come to cost per kilometer that is far less.
Yeah, but
this is how they have built your friends say the contracts, And therefore, if we talk about it's not inflated, it's not this, are we being genuine?
Yeah, but when you know from the onset, say 37.5 air core into a non-core road activity, then you have to take that out before you do your cost per kilometer.
But that is why I'm saying what is even funny is how they arrived at the cost. Because why? If I'm looking at just the raw figure and I'm dividing, this is what I get. But what is funny is how they come by that cost. So you see, at the end of the day, we've asked for the actual contracts. Okay. We didn't only ask for, data monfa with my monfa. Okay. We asked for the actual contracts. And we are hoping. Yes. And of course, we are entitled to it as citizens.
Oh, of course.
And
we hope that published.
Yes. And so we hope that they will still give it to us because the initial thing that they said was that we should give them 15 days to compile it and give it to us. So we are waiting for the 15 days. We have previous precedents that makes it clear that as citizens we are entitled to the contracts themselves. Yeah. And we have no doubt they'll give it to us. And when they give it to us, this whole idea about scope of work, blah 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 blah, we can all interrogate it.
But would the scope of work, if you see them eventually, maybe lead you to taking a second look maybe at the cost? Okay, me who on the face of it, I thought the cost near can say, but me who scope of work, I say okay then.
But why do you want us to speculate?
No, because when it comes, that's half a scope of work now, as compared to the cost. If you get to know, say, okay, me who born say can dual way and I will keep cost.
Yes, dualization.
Yes, ABS on the face of it, you should figure out say so. But when the scope of work, never know who the details are.
I told you that I told you that we have engaged experts.
Okay.
Who have access to some of these things.
These information.
Okay. And they've already said, I mean, this is quite alarming.
Really?
Yes.
It is unjustified.
It is unjustified. How can you have that dualization per the scope of works that they have seen at 154 million per kilometer?
Okay. And what I will do, and they say, James, bra. No. Inti, minim say, one question each. Eddie, amo ansana. Where jaye ako.
Mate.
Yes. Because Doc. Oh, question be ma Sulemana busana fe.
Ni question be a man no say.
Okay.
And some na wa kanu na meka say. Hu hia pass e disankomo.
Yeah, disankomo. That's fine.
Well, na me nyaya. Wo mo a rush from government side.
Yes.
To answer no. Wo mo kan hunu say wrongdoing, scandal. Eya nye no ni asem no. But the attempt to cover up.
That's where the issue is.
The Watergate scandal didn't become a scandal until there was an attempt by Nixon to cover up. And I wouldn't. Yeah, nipa. Me I say when Kenya big deal. Sulebeko, and I will make my presentation on it.
Okay.
Oh, sir, me percent. Obi percent. Come on. What say? Asama ye Kenya. There's an issue of principle.
Yes.
Principle no de ohin. A principle is either wholly kept or wholly abandoned. To compromise on principle means the abandonment of that principle. Sanura who can say unimpa, because some of them are no more issue of it no. We're lawyers.
Yes.
Say yemra no ma single sourcing. And ye wo ba ku bi e fe no so sourcing. But remember, say in this context, we have used them interchangeably.
That's true.
Any what restrictive tendering, any what competitive tendering. Ni na what ye mremu. I may sure say ye use ni na over time. I may be a kosuni. Me say from 2013 to date, yenya commission of inquiry
into road contracts
under single source, sole source restrictive tendering. Niangu companies omuwi ni ye no
and the
beneficial owners nianhwe niema binom eno ye one side enti se ne nim say sade no ye mremu a ede na ma enra ye ka say yes sade ni bia kata ni proye eno na ma na ya asem ni o nkasem bia ni o, but the definition obi de mass sade no enra as if say enye, in fact nye say as if say ye di share manifesto mu kra say enam say ye abuse ade, the word they use was abuse. I don't know how ade amrama ho kwan ye say ye abuse no, but ye abuse nti ye be ma eswati ye be abeti.
Yes. Yes.
Enti ye be abeti no na wo kohwe de ono Sulemana Braimah mu ye omo hwehwe mu no che say 81 out of friends saying 107. If you do the computation, that's about 75%. Minister now all can say 44% no grano. Let's ask ourselves: is 44 rare?
One man in the breakdown too or the other.
No, me say that be, but it's a 44.
Yes.
Granted. Okay. So who taking the 44 now? Is it consistent with what they promised?
Okay.
So it is an attempt to deny. And I'm asking who.
But 44 will be an improvement over.
What were you comparing to?
Now when TM Minister called Parliament, no.
Obi.
On what situation he took over, no.
Now
almost 100% sole sourcing.
Which data? Ono percent. Ono needed. Ono adabi the okokan wo no no. Data be no de call ho. Now even if you are comparing say 100%, now also the beba rare. It's your 44% rare of 100%.
Okay.
So that's the issue. And to me, you see, politics they be am. There's no shame to concede
when you get it wrong.
When you get it wrong, especially when your intentions are innocent and altruistic. But you know, the ama ye jina and they say uka sembinra efa de bi ho na nne ade kro na wo ye bie na ye kana wo dane wa no.
That is where the issue.
Now when you say oh ade no e bia ya hu no sanra and I said the can ye come and trash into no adwobre menim say menyin ni say nka ayi Sule wa besa about the town money. And then the last point I want to make on this is this.
Na ye ba and the obe kan den say
what counts me you know we no see bisa question
another question me say me bisa question who be bisa question
Pacho ode tie
okay
de ne ye kan tie Rosa me jamfi tie ne ye
okay
no
problem
is it the production team na no anymore
ode tie
it's only fair them
Kredi afasika na kenten so a omo ne omo yere ne omo ma ne omo busuafo e di sika ne nyefo ti sika bia ni wa e de be yo man ni ye enu ti na ye bre no enu ti na ukrum kwan no aka ho a aban ne nyeye no enu ti na so piti sa ye rehwe no ye nhu no the reason is corruption enu ti se ye pese o mai fa no to ma pefra e wo se ye nyina ye ni bre e wo kata hye pro ye dream so na ye te so adua na ene kata hye ne pro ye no new angle be aba MPP for the bomb by no chrono ye pa e ade a your friend so source in the chile nyina ne say aban person odi dwuma die bi na insist say obefa mra kwan so abamu ama omo wo opepa say omo ye say adwuma ni nyina empri bi no aban ne si da bi me de ko hye dem na me de akoma nipa ba ko pe eno ne your friend so source Evi me de ko hye dem na me de akoma nipa ba ko pe.
Na se we one of my own production na mo ye zango yina na.
Mempene e ma ho kwan e ma de opese wo ye bibia na e mepre. Na de ne bo wo fom obetumi aye ne ye ne ye mfa adwuma ne ma no. Na emo mi twabo na me de ama nipa ba ko ama na ye.
Asempa FM.
You see,
okay.
Senior na make Dr. Kabila all can be asoso no. Say ye wo man uko UK no ne ade a obetie ye say prime minister bi resign, minister bi wa resign, secretary of this wa resign, adentia you appointed to him say or her say emre bibi say ba ye no na opposition ye ene e ba ye no say na oka na omatwe mo no ma resign say I realize that nia me ye no ene nia me principles ye no enye but obibini o kan say enra say ene